And we are live. What's good, y'all? It's your man, Dale Saint. Welcome. I really want to know. Podcast, what's good, y'all? How y'all feeling, man? Good to see y'all again. Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about the 2 shows a day thing. I'm gonna do a variant of it. I think I'll do 2. Maybe I'll do 2 lives. Maybe I'll do 1 live and then I'll upload. We're just trying to figure it out. But I do like it because I like coming through hollering at y'all, bro. Y'all know, it is what it is. But I'm just like, yo, it's yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, 2 shows, Monday through Thursday. We're gonna try. We're gonna do it. Like I said, it might not always be a live. I might do a pre-recorded kind of thing, or I might just do a short or something. But I'm gonna definitely do 2 uploads. I just don't know what it's gonna look like. How y'all doing, man? Did y'all get it through the day? You know what I'm saying? Did y'all make it through the day? It's the end of the day. You stuck in traffic. What's your story? Where you at? Where you at in the world? Check in. We got Brother Jack in the building. What's good, fam? Yeah, let's get lit, man. It is what it is, man. He's like, we like it, Uncle. We're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep doing it, bro. We're gonna keep making it happen. It's all about the algorithm and algorithm. And I'm gonna have Brother Jack on the show, man, because that kid, man, he knows about YouTube and what's going on. We had a good conversation Friday. We were out kicking, the nights get together at least once a month. And we're going to bring him on. We're going to actually talk some politics. We're going to talk YouTube. We're going to talk a bunch of stuff. So he doesn't know it yet, but we're going to make that happen. We got Viking Paradigm in the building. What's good? Good to see you, bro. You know what I mean? Always a pleasure to see you, man. He's like, I'm taking a run ATM while my clothes are on the watch, right? He's going to run to the ATM while his clothes are watched. All right, cool for you, man. Why do I need to know you're going to the ATM? You know what I mean? It's not like we're looking at each other, bro. I don't know what you're doing. Just, you know what I mean? Just, disappear like a ninja and come back and then hit another chat and be like, yo, what's up? I don't know, but I appreciate it though. But yeah, bro, we're going to get you on this platform, man. That conversation we had, we were talking politics a little bit, man. We're talking to Algo. We're talking about YouTube and how it works. I want to bring you on the platform, man, to have that conversation. Young people run this, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. There's a young lady out there, Jenny. Oh man, I forget her last name. Jenny, I don't want to say her last name incorrect, but she lives in Florida. I think she's in South Florida, close to Miami. She's probably in Broward. She does a lot of, like shorts, TikTok and YouTube and, Instagram. She gets millions and millions of views. And I was talking about her earlier today. I want to do a show on her for 2 reasons. First of all, I'm so impressed and fascinated by her commitment to this new genre, right? This influencer thing. Like this young woman does her research. And I call her young because she's like just over 18. I think she'll be, I looked it up. I think her birthday is in May. So, she's like 18 and a half or something like that. Fresh out of high school, sharp. And this is something I want to talk about on the professional level and for you guys who are like out here chasing women. This is the type of woman you want to go for. She wears t-shirts and sweatpants and those clog things, wherever y'all call them. And she's focused and she has a passion for something. And you can see her passion. It's just like, yo, she's like a nerdy girl. She's very attractive. She's not into like all kind of makeup and nails and all this other kind of stuff in fashion. That's who y'all should be going after for you dudes out there. And even for a woman like that, a young girl who's not really into the clout, who's not really, blinded by the bling, right? She has her mom and dad in her life. She comes from a strong family. You need game to be able to talk to them because you need to know what type of, like how to approach and what to say and when is it okay to be yourself and when is it okay to kind of be in a version of yourself. We're going to talk about that tomorrow for sure. For sure. So, just wanted to throw that out there just so you guys know. I'm going to pull her up. It's like Jenny something. I forget her last name. Man. I'll find it. Don't worry. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. Today, we're going to talk about what's going on in the streets, man. What's going on out there, man? Are the police ready? Are we headed for a crime wave? I don't know, but let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. That's what's up, man. So appreciate y'all being here, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. I'm supposed to say that every episode. I didn't say it in the early episode, and y'all didn't remind me. So I want to make sure I say it right after I do the intro thing. And Brother Jack was like, "You asked, so I'm so I'm telling you what I'm doing." I did ask, didn't I? Like, what's up? How y'all doing? Yeah, I did ask. That's what I get. You got me. You got me. You know, at the moment, up to ATM, by the way, cool. Don't get robbed, man. Don't let nobody see you getting your money out and get knocked in the back of the head. He was like, I would love to be on. Oh, we're going to make that happen, bro. We're going to make that happen. I'm looking forward to it, man. We got to get you on here. It's going to be a good show. So what am I talking about? Everybody like, come on, Unc, what are you talking about with the police? You talking about, are the police ready? Or are we headed for some sort of crime wave? Listen, this is how it goes. When money gets tight, and if there's some sort of recession, if people start losing their jobs, if the value of people's homes are going down, people are already like just living on credit. Most people don't have enough money to, you know, to handle an unexpected expense of $400, you know, $400 or $500, living paycheck to paycheck. What does that mean for the people at the bottom? That means the people at the bottom, they're not getting any more STEMI money. There's no money that flows down there because, you know, that top-down approach really doesn't work, does it? No, it doesn't. It's a bunch of BS. They're going to get that money. How? However they got to get it, right? We were talking about scams. Be on the lookout for all sorts of scams because that, you know, scams are definitely on the rise. People are going to try to steal your identity. People are going to try to steal your tax refunds. People are going to try all sorts of things. And if that doesn't work, good old fashioned robbery is always there. They're going to come in and try to get you. People on the streets, they're going to be out there selling oregano. You know what I mean? They're going to be out there selling, you know, Bonko. They're going to be out there selling just random chemicals, trying to get that money off those people who are addicted to different substances and stuff like that, especially in an era where fentanyl is out there. People are going to sell you anything. They'll sell you something that will absolutely end your life. They'll do anything and everything to get money. I remember when I was coming up, people would take your shoes. They still doing that. They'll take your shoes. They'll take your belt. They'll take anything of value. So I think that's where we're heading. I think it's definitely going to be a problem. Oh, my bad. Look at Brother Jack. He's like, I'm dead, not ATM, like a machine. He's like, at the moment. Y'all know I don't know these things, man. Y'all youngers y'all gotta teach me up. Like, so what? You going to the ATM? Don't tell nobody you're gonna get robbed. At the moment. Oh my goodness. You big dummy. And that's for me. I guess I'm the big dummy because I don't know all the acronyms. It is what it is. Brother Viking, like YouTube is my wheelhouse too. I'll be sure to check in if I can. That'll be great, bro. I'll definitely send you the link on that one as well. Talking algorithms and stuff like that, because you know I'm watching the growth of this channel, and you know there's so many people out there that talk about all this stuff, and apparently I am doing really well. I'm doing better than 90% of folks who get into YouTube because they don't make it this far. Getting monetized really seems to be a huge hurdle that most people don't ever surpass. So we're monetized and we're growing. We're at like 1,660 folks, bro. Like, and we did this in about a year. So little over a year, monetized in less than a year. But you know, we've had the channel a little over a year. And you know, I'm kind of watching and I'm looking at what kind of views channels my size are getting, and I'm watching, you know what I mean? And I have people like, yo, Unc, you were definitely shadow banned. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't think the algo is doing whatever it is. And it was my brother Knight told me all about it. Young Jack was like, nah, man, this is how it works. And he broke it down. So, you know, it is what it is. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We got Brother Knightish in the building. What's good, fam? Salute to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Always a pleasure to have you in here, bro. Before we go any further, man, has anyone seen Melanie King do a live? I mean, I know she's posting content, but has anyone seen her do a live? Because I haven't. And I've been looking. I've been, you know, keeping an eye out on the sister, see how she's doing. And I wonder why she's not doing lives. I might have to send her a message on Instagram, or maybe she's doing them on Instagram. I don't know. But y'all let me know for those of us who came over from the Melanie King platform. And I know Suzette Speaks is working real hard on Roland Martin's channel, and she's still getting out there and putting, you know, she'll post on her channel. I think she just did a show a few days ago. She was talking about scholarships or something like that. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, and but I'm in contact with her. I just hit her up to see how she's doing. But she's been putting a lot of in real life events going on, a lot of political stuff going on. She's working with Roland Martin. Shout out to Suzette Speaks. So, and that's another thing I got to do. I got to get back to venturing out to other platforms, you know what I mean, and kind of cross pollinate with folks. I haven't been on that as hard as I was in the past. I'm gonna have to get back on that. It is what it is. Um, so I was just curious if you guys know. If you guys know anything about Mel King, let me know. You know what I mean? Let me know. You know what I mean? Like 500 subs and 4,000 watch hours. Yeah, bro. I mean, and Brother Knight is like, nope, haven't seen her doing any lives. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just curious. I like to keep my eye on what content creators are doing, and it is what it is. And again, before we get into this, there's stories out there. I guess just Pearly Things got demonetized in much the same way that they did Fresh and Fit. Um, I haven't really been following what's going on her platform at all, to be honest with you. But I saw that. I guess this happened a few weeks ago, maybe longer. Just shows you I really haven't been keeping up with what she had going on. But you know, I mean, it just kind of it feeds into that narrative. I mean, there's definitely a certain type of content that YouTube wants on this platform, and there's content out there that is not too fond of. So and it is what it is. But we're not going to change up, man. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. Brother Viking, most folks don't even have a clue what shadow ban really means. I do, and we'll explain it on the show if you like. Absolutely, bro. We're gonna make that happen, man. I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna pick a day, and it's gonna be hard to do it this week, the short week with Thanksgiving, but maybe the week after, maybe a week from today, maybe like a week from like next Monday, we should be able to do it. Man, I'm gonna hit you up. Let me hit you up and find out how we're gonna do it, because I don't even know. You hear these terms, I have no idea. Like, what am I? I'm an old dude in a young man's world. I'm just out here doing whatever I'm doing, having a good time, talking to folks, trying to do what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it is what it is. Nidus is like, yes, she said something about a 16-year-old and a 26-year-old. Oh, yeah, bro, that'll do it. You're talking about Pearl. That is what it is. Definitely a win for Viking. We're gonna get Viking, and we're gonna get our young knight up on this joint. We're gonna get Jack Black, if that's your real name, up here to talk about these YouTube things. And again, this is something that'll be very informative for me. This is definitely something that I want to do. So that's what's up, man. So let's get back to the story at hand. There's a video out here. It's a news clip from KCAL 5. Shout out to them. That's the news. That is a news mainstream media news outlet in LA. I want to say it's NBC. It's KCAL 5, and it's a story about some of the things that are going on in California. Now, people keep saying like, man, why you keep talking about California? Like, well, what's going on in California? I think that California is just the leading edge of what's coming for the rest of the country. As their crime spikes, as their economy tanks, as all this other stuff goes on, we might see variants of it throughout the rest of the country, especially places like these major metropolitan areas. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Chicago, DC, Tampa, Orlando, Cincinnati. Any mid-sized to large cities are probably going to experience something similar to what's going on in LA right now. So I mean, it is what it is. So I keep my eye on it, and I was out there pretty much from 1998 until basically 2000 when I retired. There was a few years when I was in Miami, and then a couple years when I was in San Diego. But for the most part, I was, in the LA area. And even when I did move away, I was back in LA because I would go to see my daughter and visit friends and stuff like that. So this was before because I went first and then my daughter joined me. So the time when my daughter wasn't with me, I would fly out, of course, to go see my child. But it's crazy how much LA changed from the time that I was around there, because I had never been to California prior to 1998. When I got out there, it was like, okay, I got to see a little bit of a transition from the old ways to what was going on into the 2000s. But from 1998 until now, night and day, don't even recognize it. Like I tell folks all the time, like this is really not the era you want to go to Cali. It isn't. Like if you know about LA or you're going out there for business, that's one thing. But just kind of going out there wanting to kick it and want to do all this other kind of stuff, like man, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. It's a lot going on, and you can easily get caught up if you ain't careful and if you ain't, if you're not with the right people. So that's what I tell folks. Like, just give it some time. LA is going to correct. Like all of California is going to correct at some point, and then they're going to have people come back to California. I'm pretty sure of that. But right now, not the time to be messing with it. So let's check out this news clip, and you guys kind of let me know what you think of what's going on out here in LA in particular. Let's check this out.
Now at 10:30, homeowners are being terrorized by a growing number of dinner time burglaries. One family says the brazen burglars pepper sprayed their dog during the break-in.
Another family says they think that same group burglarized their home too. KTLA's John Fenolio live in Granada Hills with more. It's a story you'll see only on 5. John.
And before we get into this, bro, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Ain't nobody pepper spraying a Doberman or a Rottweiler or a German Shepherd, right, or an Akita. Ain't nobody pepper spraying them dogs. You hear me? When they hear that, they hear them that dogs come. You hear that? Ooh, 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 ooh. You gone, bro. You ain't gonna hold out your little pepper spray bottle and be like, hold still, Fido. Psst. Nah, man, that dog is gonna tear you up, bro. He's gonna tear that hand up. Just hold on to that pepper spray. So first of all, people, it might be time to get you a real dog. If you want to have those little teacup whatevers and those little play dogs, whatever, go ahead and get them play dogs, but go ahead and also get you a real dog for home protection, because that is the best home defense out there. It's a canine. That is the best. It goes all the way back to when humans and dogs got together, right? Dogs are excellent at defending the home. And don't get you no big dog and he's a big old powder puff and wants to play with everybody. Get you a big old protective, mean dog. That's how it was in the 70s and 80s. That's how it was. When nobody playing around with nobody else's dog, especially when you come up to the house. You want that protection. So let's continue.
Yeah, sure, Micah, that's right. We've certainly seen an increase in burglaries like these in recent weeks. In many cases, residents were home at the time. And tonight, a Granada Hills man says he thinks there could be a connection.
My bedroom's just right in here.
George Lozano had just gone to bed Tuesday evening when he heard a noise and grabbed his cell phone.
As soon as I got wide awake, I was kind of watching them, and I was trying to dial 911 at the same time, but I couldn't. The app would not allow me to be on 911 and watch the video at the same time.
On his home security app, he watched 3 men wearing hoodies jump his fence and begin prowling around his home.
I was just like, okay, I know where this is going.
The whole incident unfolding quickly just after 8 p.m. The intruders began unscrewing the motion-activated light bulbs. Lozano couldn't see them clearly. He was having difficulty dialing 911.
Man, y'all see how beautiful that man's backyard is? Granada Hills is in the San Fernando Valley in California, for those who don't know. Granada Hills is a working-class neighborhood. However, with the spike in housing and everything that was going on, people would get into these homes and, money was cheap, so they would get all the money to make the homes better. And it looks like this man got in there and he took care of business. He had a beautiful backyard. It's got a big old privacy fence, right? And he's got tons of cameras. Why does he have so many cameras? Right? Well, they know that Granada Hills ain't too far from the hood. Nowhere in LA is that far from the hood, y'all. Just keeping it 100. Like these guys who done jumped this fence and went into this man's yard, they could be from Canoga Park. They could be from Pacoima up in Sylmar somewhere. They could be, from North Hollywood, or they could be from Watts somewhere. They could be from Compton, right? Bro, gangsters know how to get in the car and drive. So these guys are casing the house. The lights are out. They don't know the guys inside more than likely, and they're just looking for a way to get some easy money. You know what I mean? Brother Viking is saying he's planning a studio rebuild right now for the next week or two. I'll be in contact. All right, we'll wait. We'll wait until you're ready. Once the studio's ready, we'll bring you in, man. Absolutely. And Brother Jack is like pepper spraying with bullets. Yeah, bro. For sure, for sure. And the guy says, you know, his motion sensors goes off. He can hear someone in the backyard, and the first thing he does is reaches for his phone. I bet you the first thing he did was reach for his Glock, but we'll see. We'll see what's up. He said he has his phone. He's looking at his phone, and he's trying. You know, he's trying to dial 911, but with the system the way it's set up, he couldn't, I guess, use the app for his security and also dial his phone at the same time. But let's continue.
I went to my closet where my safe is, opened up the safe, grabbed my gun.
You can see the suspects peering into windows. Lozano says he didn't know if they were armed, but wasn't about to let them get inside and took a position near his sliding door to the patio.
I had it here, just with my hand, not on the trigger, but just parallel to the barrel. Watched them, and then the entire time chased them.
He has at least 15 cameras surrounding his house. The intruders began trying to unplug the ones they could reach. Lozano pulled back the door and stepped outside.
As soon as they heard the noise, they took off.
He chased after them, his gun in hand, the suspects jumping the fence. It's the latest in a string of burglaries.
So this dude is a smart cat, you know what I mean? I'm just looking at, just paying attention to what's going on, like in the background of his home. We saw the backyard. The back was well manicured, very nice. Not a lot of, I didn't see any toys or bikes laying around, so doesn't look like he's a family man or whatever. And then you look at inside the home, look beautiful. Like you can see the you know, like the appliances, like washer and dryer back in like your little utility room. You could look around his kitchen. Everything looked like fairly new, you know, like marble and everything. Everything's nice and neat. Like, dude, one of those guys who was probably out there buying homes, you know, fixing them up, selling them, and then getting on to the next home, fixing them up, selling them, which was very profitable out there, especially in the San Fernando Valley. You look at Granada Hills, you look at Van Nuys, Canoga Park, you know, you look at Woodland Hills, Warner Center, Sherman Oaks. Bro, it was people coming in there buying houses for $500,000 or less, flipping them and selling those things for like $1.3, $1.4 million or and up, depending on how big the lot was and all that kind of stuff. And if you had the skill set and the patience and the credit to do it, bro, you get in there, hook it up. So yeah, dude was, you know, it was kind of cool. Like, yeah, I went to my safe and I opened my safe, and then I retrieved my firearm, and then I went to a separate, you know what I mean? He's saying all that for the camera, bro. I'm telling you, his pistol was probably right next to him. Yeah, he probably went to sleep with his pistol right there in orange range. He knew what time it was. He grabbed that thing and he went out there. You know what I mean? He confronted these guys, and you can see that these dudes were just looking for an easy lick, because as soon as they heard that someone was making noise, that the door opened, they ran. And the two dudes jumped right over the fence. The third dude had trouble getting over the fence, and the guy's chasing him with his weapon. In Texas, he could have engaged that guy. In Texas, from what I understand about Texas law, he could have engaged that guy. They can do anything to you on someone's property. They can do whatever they want. And but California, it doesn't work like that. Like the laws are very restrictive. And it's a good thing he did not fire his weapon at, you know, those people or whatever. Here in Florida, yeah, you're there on your property, bro. He would have been well within his right to fire his weapon. It's kind of crazy. And again, I'm no legal expert, so wherever you are, I don't care what state you're in, make sure you understand the laws, you know, of regarding your firearms and personal protection and protecting your home and property and stuff like that. Make sure you understand those laws. But you definitely need a weapon in California, and they're real restrictive out there. But this is why you need a weapon. The rest of the story is going to blow y'all mind. Let's continue.
Burglaries and home invasions in the San Fernando Valley and surrounding areas.
This door used to match the door on the left with all the panes, and that's double pane glass. I'm not sure what kind of tool they used to actually break the door in.
Woodland Hills resident Tim Gaspar says his home was broken into Monday evening while he and his family were out for an early dinner. They returned to find their home ransacked. Another break-in Wednesday evening in Sherman Oaks looks disturbingly familiar. The back door smashed with shattered glass everywhere. The homeowner says it happened just before 8 o'clock. And who could forget this violent attempted robbery in LA's mid-city neighborhood earlier this month? Two hooded suspects jumped the fence of a home and rushed the homeowner who was about to unlock his front door. Little did they know this would-be victim was armed with a concealed carry weapon and fired back, getting into a shootout with the suspects in his driveway. As for Lozano, he says the suspects took off in a white four-door crossover-looking vehicle. He says he called 911, but was surprised the police never showed up.
you know, like LA, mid city, like that's, you know, it's a lot of money throughout LA. And you got these really nice neighborhoods, but in between these nice neighborhoods, you got bad neighborhoods, right? So for mid city, bro, Compton ain't that like South Central ain't that far at all, bro. At all. Like it's right down the street. So that video right there, these guys got an armed gunman walking up on the man who's about to go into his house, getting his keys out. This is obviously going to be some sort of, you know, home invasion, you know, strong arm robbery kind of thing. Get you in the house and where to say, give me the money, this and that. But this dude is armed and he's legally carrying. People like to say that you can't get a concealed carry permit in California. Yes, you can. It's virtually impossible in LA. So the fact that this guy has, that guy in that video had a weapon, a concealed carry permit in California, it leads me to believe that either that dude is like former law enforcement, military or something like that, has a lot of political ties, or got that permit in some other county somewhere in the state of California, probably up in Northern California. And he went through the process, got his concealed weapon, got his concealed carry, and his life brought him down to LA or whatever, you know, and that's where he wanted to start his life or moved or whatever he did. Once you get your concealed carry for the state, you're good statewide. So, and you can see how that actually did save his life. Like what it gave him a fighting chance. If he didn't have that weapon, he was done. He was going to have to go barehanded against a dude with the weapon. You got some assailant running up on you with the weapon, and you see the guy turned around. He saw the guy's weapon. He threw his coffee on him. They kind of, you know, discombobulated the young dude for a hot second, and that gave him time to draw his weapon and fire. And that guy fired multiple times. You know, just looking at that video, I saw at least 4, maybe 5 rounds that he fired off rip. And then there was a couple, like in the next scene, I could see rounds impacting the wall behind the suspect. So that guy, he was letting some rounds off. And of course, the assailant was running away. Why? These people really don't want any, you know, they're not looking for that kind of drama. You know, if someone engages me, or if I got to engage someone with my weapon and they begin to run, I'm not chasing them. I'm not going to chase them. I'm going to get to a point where I can observe what's going on. I'm in a good position. I'm not going to chase them. You know, I'm not really trying to be in the firefight. Now, if they continue to press the attack, then I got to do what I got to do. And, you know, and if I fire my weapon, I'm not just firing to make noise. I'm firing to put rounds on target. So it's crazy out there, but you must protect yourself, man. California is like a no man's land right now. It's kind of crazy. But then it gets back to the original guy who these people jumped into his yard. They jumped over the fence, they jumped into a car, and they drove off. Like I said, the people in the hood know how to get to the nice houses. They were probably watching this house or driving up and down the street, and it's like, okay, there's no movement over here. We don't see any cars outside. The lights are off. Let's hop this fence, because the fence is going to conceal their actions from anyone walking around or driving around. Let's hop this fence, look and see if any windows are open or see what's inside, and, you know, kind of go from there. So you definitely want to be careful when you have like high hedges, trees, fences, anything that's blocking visibility from the street. Because, okay, you're thinking like, okay, cool, people can't see in, but you can't see out. So, I mean, it kind of goes both ways. You know, it's just something to keep in mind.
Call 911, call the operator, explain to the operator what had just happened, just told them they had just gotten away. She says, okay, put me on hold. They transferred me to the non-emergency number, which I was there for like almost 45 minutes.
He even called his local LAPD station and left a message.
They have a recording. I left the recording on the machine, explained who I was, what the situation was, and I haven't heard a call back from anybody.
Most law enforcement and security experts say burglaries and home invasions usually occur between the hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. when crooks think no one is at home. But of course, we know there is usually an uptick in these types of crimes around the holidays. Experts say if you have a home security system, make sure you use it. In Granada Hills, I'm John Fenolio, KTLA 5 News.
So in everything he said right there, you know, like home invasions, normally the people want you there. You know, that was my understanding of home invasion. There are people who want you in the house when they come kick the door in, right? That's a home invasion. But when you have just these burglaries, like they don't want you there. They don't want any drama. They just want to be able to get into your house, and they just want to be able to see, take what they can take, see what they see. They get lucky, you know, maybe you know, got some jewelry out, or maybe there's some cash laying around, or maybe there's some smaller valuable things that they can just pick up and carry out, like, purses, stuff like that. And then they talk about like home security. Like, make sure you have a good home security system. I got a German home security system right here. I got a bunch of them. I got a lot of home security systems in my place of residence. I got a lot of them. Some are German made, some are American made. Right? I got a lot of them. Some are short, some are long. You know what I mean? So, but the best system, I'm telling you, for home defense is a canine, a nice size dog. That is the best, because they don't want to deal with that either. No friendly dog, no dog that can be won over with treats right away. They want a nice dog, doesn't recognize you, they barking at you. Like, as soon as those guys came over the fence and started looking in the windows, a dog would have been all over that. And once you hear that deep woo, 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 that's a wrap. They gone. They gone. We out of here. If they hear the little dog yapping, they don't care about that. They're not worried about a little dog. But they're worried about German Shepherds and stuff like that. So Dobermans especially, man. I know my cousin had a Doberman, bro. We had him in the house. Man, oh man. People were worried about him. It was a nice dog. And he was on his way to get trained. So, and that's what you do. You get your dog, you have your dog trained, you have those attack words and all that. And I'm telling you, especially if you got kids and stuff like that, man. So, bro, if it's going on in Cali, if it's going on in New York, Chicago, San Francisco, these big places, trust me, it's coming to wherever you are, right? It's coming. And if people are what people are saying is true about the economy slowing way down, about a recession, about the unemployment numbers going up, if that's the case, then crime is going to go up with that. Crime is definitely going to go up. People aren't just going to sit there and starve. They're going to go get it. However, they got to go get it, and like burglaries, home invasions. You're going to see carjackings. You're going to see more. I don't think you're going to see too many like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that, because the automotive market is so messed up right now. Like, it's gone way down. So the value of cars aren't there anymore. But if you got people who are good at, just stealing cars, then they'll take your car and get whatever they can for it. It is what it is. Out in California, especially Southern California, they get a hold of your car, or they really want your truck. They get a hold of your pickup. They'll drive it down to Mexico, and they'll be able to get rid of it, sell it or whatever. And a lot of that stuff has to do with insurance money. There's so much insurance fraud in California, just like it was so much insurance fraud here in Florida. That's why insurance has gotten so expensive here in Florida, California, Texas, Louisiana, and all the rest of it. So y'all be careful out there, y'all. Like, it's when I saw that, I was like, and I'm always talking about this stuff. Be careful. Like the news reporter said, yeah, it's Christmas time. People are starting to get their stuff. The porch pirates, they're going to be out in mass. It's Christmas time. They know that the gifts are coming. So they're going to be sitting there looking for the big boxes, and they're going to come up and start snatching them, which sucks. I was talking to my daughter about this the other day. We had to park our car in a place where we normally don't park. And we were parking here, and I was like, we're not going to be long, so we'll just park it here. And I was talking to my daughter about crime and crimes of opportunity. I'm like, do you know what that means? And she's like, well, does it mean that someone will just take it because they had the chance to? I'm like, yes, it's just an opportunity. There's the vehicle. Oh, the doors happen to be unlocked, or there's a big box in the back seat that they can see, or bags they can see. They'll smash the window and take the stuff and run. That was a crime of opportunity, right? So how do you avoid that? Park your vehicle somewhere where there's high visibility. There's less likelihood of someone wanting to smash your window, because there's all sorts of stuff going on. You're on a major street. You're in front of a very busy building. All sorts of stuff like that. Don't park don't put yourself in a situation where your car is parked all the way over there by itself. There's no one else around. There's only woods. Like, okay, you're parked just a few feet away from a wooded area when they can come running out the woods, take whatever they want out of your car, smash up all your windows, and run back into the woods and get away. So, so I was telling my daughter this, and she's like, oh, that makes sense. And as we're walking around, she's looking at all the buildings around. She was like pointing at all the packages, and she was like, porch pirates. I'm like, exactly, porch pirates. That's like an opportunity. So you must be careful. So, but these are the conversations that I have with my little girl. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there that don't have these conversations. I don't know what they're talking about, but they're not talking about this. You know, when we're out walking around, I'm always telling my daughter to look around. Hey, do you see that man with the coat on, the black coat that's standing over there by Chipotle? And she'll look like, oh, I see him now. Like, do you see those kids over there? There's a cluster of those two boys and that girl over there. What do you think they're doing? You know, and then she's kind of, you know, now she's walking around, she's keeping her eyes open, like, okay, I see this, I see that. I want my daughter to see the threat coming, right? Anyone out there who's moving around in this world, it's best that you see the threat coming, whether you armed or not, whether you know how to fight or you don't. If you see it coming, you can get away, right? You can get away. I ain't mad at people who run away. Run away. You see a problem coming and you think they're about to do something to you, get up out of there. Run away. And let them get someone else. You know, the targets, the people who get hit the most are the people who aren't paying attention. And that's on you. Again, we're always talking about game over here, right? That is another game, that criminal game. You know what I'm saying? Like that cops and robbery game. They coming for you. You need to see them coming. I see people coming all the time, right? And then you got to deal with it accordingly. If I can get away, if I see somebody coming, I can walk across the street to get away from the situation, I will. I'll simply walk across the street. That's not a big thing. I'm a man. I know how to defend myself. I know how to fight, right? 99% of the time I'm armed. So I'm still walking away. I want to get away from that. I'm not trying to prove nothing to nobody. Now, I'm trying to get away from you and you're trying to close the distance. Well, it's going to turn into whatever it's going to turn into. Yeah, I'm not looking for that problem, but a lot of times when you're out and about, if you make eye contact with someone and you kind of give them that, I see you look, and I talk to folks, hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing, bro? I see you, what's good? I'm saying I'm being nice, but I'm also letting you know I see your ass. Like, I see you, bro. And I can't tell you how many times I've had people kind of, go the other way, or maybe they kind of think about what they're doing. You can see them have a moment like, oh, okay. It was just one time, trying to think. Oh, yep. I got a story for y'all.
Everybody sit down, please. It's story time. It's story time.
I got a story for y'all, man. This is when I was living in LA, bro. This was like 2010. No. 2012. I'm in LA and I'm living on Fountain Boulevard. I'm on Fountain between Gower and I forget the other cross street. I forget the other cross street. I'm sorry. But I was walking towards the down Fountain, residential area, trees everywhere, whatever. I would walk down the street all the time. And I'm on my way to Hollywood because I'm just a few blocks away from Hollywood Boulevard. There was a whole bunch of stuff to get into, right? So I'm just like, all right, was it? I can't remember the cross street. It's just driving me crazy because I can't remember, but it's been a long time. That's why I can't remember. So I'm walking. It's nighttime. It's dark. It's about 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm walking. I have on slippery shoes, right? Because I'm wearing some decent shoes, got some nice jeans. I'm dressed to go out. I was on my way to my buddy's nightclub. So I'm kind of walking and I'm always walking with my eyes are up. My head's always on a swivel. So as I'm walking, I'm kind of doing my thing. I'm checking my phone and I look up and I start checking around. I look to my left and right. I look in front of me and I always check behind me. I check my 6 o'clock position, right? If it's going to come for you, they're going to come for you from behind. That's the easiest way to get you. So I'm walking and I turn and look behind me and I can see a dude that wasn't there when I did my last sweep, maybe a minute prior to this, 2 minutes prior to this, right? So I'm like, oh, where'd dude come from? Dude had on a hoodie. He had it pulled real tight, so you can only really see this much of his face. He had the hoodie pulled real tight. Both his hands were in his pockets, and he was walking in a pretty good pace to catch up with me, right? He's maybe a half a block behind me, maybe a block. He's about a block behind me. So I see the guy. I speed up. Dude speeds up. And I'm like, oh, now he's about a half a block behind me. This is California. It's illegal to carry weapons. Like they have very, very high restrictions on weapons and, all this kind of stuff. And I mean, I had access to a weapon, but let's just say I only pulled it out when I absolutely needed it. I didn't walk around carrying it. I did not have a concealed carry permit. So I'm in a bad situation. So I'm like, dude, I'm not a little guy. This dude is coming, head down. He's moving fast. I'm not a little guy. I'm on this street. Now, the major cross street is coming up. It's less than half a block away, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm still not going to outright flat out just start running from this dude, right? So I'm like, I ain't doing that. Right? I ain't doing that. I'll turn around and deal with him before I do that. But I did start walking real fast. So I'm walking real fast to get to this street. And once I got to the street, it was pretty much over. And the street was Cahuenga. I knew it would come to me. It was Cahuenga. So I'm like, I once I got to Cahuenga, all right, I was good. I was good. You know what I mean? And and then as I got there, like now I'm in a parking lot, you know, there's a dry cleaners there. There's like this little bitty newsstand there, people everywhere. Once I got there, I went back to my normal pace. And then the guy got close enough to me where he could say something to me. And he was like, he was laughing, like smiling, nodding his head, gave me that, you know what I mean? And it was like, yeah, man, that's good cologne you wearing. I was like, all right, bro, cool. Like, cool, bro. Yeah, dude was absolutely about ready. If he'd have called me on that block, it was like, again, trees lined on both sides of the street, not a lot of street lights. If he'd have called me on that block, there's hardly any cars coming up and down. He'd have had me. He'd have had me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, get that up, Jack. Give it up smooth. He'd have took whatever I had on me, my wallet, whatever, cards, cash, you know, anything he wanted, because he definitely would have had to drop on me. And more than likely, he probably had something like a little 380, like a little 9mm or something. I'm pretty sure that if he had a weapon, that's what it was, or maybe a knife. You know what I mean? But I was like, yo, if I hadn't been checking behind me, dude would have caught me. He'd walk right up on me. I never would have saw him again. You can only see this much of his face. And as I turned up, you know, he just, you know, pulled the hoodie all the way off and everything. So you got to be paying attention to your surroundings at all times. If you're not, I mean, you're just a mark, bro. You're a target. You're food, period. Now, if something like that were to happen here in Florida, I will probably cross the street first. They want me to just go ahead and cross. I see dude, let me cross the street. And if dude had followed me across the street, then I probably would have put myself in a position to let him pass me. But I would have had my weapon out and ready to go. He wouldn't be able to see it, but I definitely would have had my weapon out. And by this point, dude would know what time it is. Like, again, anyone who's thinking about attacking you or robbing you or something like that, once they realize they've lost that surprise element, man, they're going to back off. They're going to back off, man, because they don't really know. Like, okay, now there are some dudes out there who are just ready to crash out and they're just sickos and they might just pull their thing out and it might be go time. It might be, you know what I mean? You just got to deal with that accordingly. But the average person is going to just leave, they're just going to let you be because they know what time it is. Like, all right, dude saw me, let me back on up. You know what I mean? Especially like in states where concealed carry permits are really easy. And here in Florida, you don't even need a permit anymore. You don't need any paperwork to carry. It's like the constitutional carry or whatever it is they're calling it here. You just can't be a felon. And if you're not a felon, you can carry whatever weapon you want. So in some states, it's harder to be a mugger or some sort of robber than it is in others. In California, it's wide open. It's wide open. You can be in Cali, walk into a store and walk out with stuff. You ain't got to worry about it. You know what I mean? You know, but certain states, you got to worry about it. And then that bit about like the guy's on the phone with 911. He's like, hey, these guys were in my yard. I chased them out. You know what I mean? They're in the car. The 911 operator's like, okay, so they're gone. They're no longer a threat. No, they're no longer a threat. Bet. Put you on hold. Bam. Now you're on the non-emergency line where you can leave a voicemail and tell them, yeah, I think these three guys jumped into my yard. I think they wanted to, rob my house, but I came out with my weapon and I ran them off. Police gonna be like, good for you. You get a gold star. Are you gonna send anyone out? No, we're not gonna send anyone out. LAPD got real crimes to investigate. They ain't worried about that. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. And it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, look, brother Jack is like, we in America, we in Florida. Hey man, look, look. I'm all for giving Americans an opportunity to, to protect themselves. You know what I mean? And the Second Amendment is there for a reason. That reason is to have militias and to, to be able to form militias and to fight the enemy to the state. But it also gives you an opportunity to defend your home and your person. And I'm with that. I'm absolutely with that. But, in other states, not so much. They're not really with it as much. But, you gotta, and another thing too, like if you do carry a weapon, if you're legally carrying a weapon, permit or not, but you're legally carrying, don't put yourself in situations just because you think you Mr. Big and you got a gun. Don't get to talking big to people and acting like you Billy Badass because you have a pistol. Because chances are they got a pistol too, and you don't know who you're dealing with. You might be dealing with someone who's used to gunplay. You might be dealing with someone who, this is what they do all day, every day. They bout to shoot out, and you're not. So it's one of those things to consider. Right? You have your firearm to protect you. It should be a last resort. Don't go looking for trouble. Like, don't be out here thinking you John Rambo or somebody. That weapon should be your last resort. You draw that weapon when you or your family are at risk. Right? And then be very accountable for what you're doing. Remember, those bullets just keep going. They're not bad guy seekers. Those rounds go wherever you fire them. So you best know what you're shooting at, know how to shoot, and know how to put rounds on target. Because if you out there popping at somebody and you wind up hitting people who are driving by in the background, you're responsible for that. You're not going to be able to say, "Oh, I'm sorry that I shot that person, but I fear for my life and I missed the target. Oopsie." Nah, ain't no oopsie. They coming to see you, bro. So if you do have a weapon, make sure you're going to the range and you stay proficient with your weapon. And that's just how it is. Brother Pitney's in the building. What's good, fam? How you doing, bro? Speak softly and carry a big stick. Yeah, you can do that. Speak softly and carry a Glock or a Smith & Wesson or a Ruger. You know what I mean? Or a Rhino. Carry whatever it is you want to carry. But just because you have a weapon doesn't mean that you're the baddest guy on the street. I know guys out there that'll take that weapon from you. You hear stories like that. People get into situations and they wind up getting deleted by firearm, and then the law enforcement figures out that they were deleted by their own firearm. So what happened? The person that they were engaged with took their weapon. That's got to be the worst feeling in the world when you get disarmed and somebody pops you with your own weapon. So again, training. You know what I mean? Training. Knowledge, understand the distance, keep distance between people. You know what I mean? And like, again, the mission should be to get away. That's it. I'm here to get away. This weapon is here just to help me to that end. I want to get away. I want to protect myself. I want to protect my family, but I am not trying to engage in some sort of prolonged firefight. I'm just not. I carry my weapon and I carry a separate magazine. And people are like, well, why do you have that extra magazine? It's like, in case, and this is Jay Swans. He's like, in case the first one malfunctions. It's not so I can have extra bullets, like in case the first one malfunctions. And even when I carry my revolvers, I'll carry a speed loader with extra rounds. So, and people ask me why I do that. I'm like, well, I don't think I'll get 5 misfires on one of my revolvers, or 6 misfires if I'm carrying my 357, but I still want to have those extra rounds on me, because if I'm dealing with someone who's out to mean me harm or to mean others harm, they're gonna, they're gonna have more bullets than me. It's just one of those things. Like I'm carrying the 40 millimeter here, and this thing has 13 rounds plus one in the chamber. 13 rounds, 14 bullets. Versus my, if I'm carrying a 38 special, that's 5. And if I'm carrying a 357, that's 6. So even with the extra rounds, I'm at a disadvantage. But luckily I train and I know how to put, each one of my rounds is gonna hit, versus someone just blindly firing their weapon. So that's like a whole nother conversation. One of these days we'll get Brother Mandrell over here and we'll talk about that. I haven't talked to him in a while. I need to reach out and hit him up. But it's the holiday season, so I know people get busy, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and I'm probably gonna leave everybody alone until after New Year's, and then we're gonna, go even harder in 2024. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. It's getting crazy. Be thinking about safety. How can you protect yourself? How can you protect your family? You cannot rely upon law enforcement to be able to come to your rescue every single time. They might not be able to make it. So it's going to fall to you. And if you're in California, man, y'all better put some pressure on y'all sheriff to get him to authorize some more concealed weapon permits, because y'all need to be able to conceal carry out there. Get yourself some weapons from home for home defense, and know the rules. Know the rules. There were 3 men trying to figure out how to get into this home. Again, they didn't know the homeowner was there, but they were trying to get in there. What would have happened if they got into that house? Who knows? Possibly they just would have been trying to find stuff. Maybe they would have ran out the minute they realized someone was there. Who knows? So you just have to be on the defense, guys. You know, when you get your firearm, make sure you train properly. Yeah, I know ammo costs a lot of money right now, but make sure you train properly. You should be out there at least once a year. You know, me, I like to get out twice a year minimum. If I could do once a quarter, like 4 times a year, that's great. But ammo is really expensive. You know, some of the ammunition that I need is real pricey. So it's like, like we got to hold on to these rounds. But you know, you definitely want to be proficient. You want to be thinking about these things. Like, what am I going to do if someone hops the fence? What am I going to do if someone smashes the window? What am I going to do if someone runs into the house? Like, what am I going to do if someone runs up on my car? Right? You got to be thinking about this sort of thing. When I'm driving around, my weapon I carry on my hip. So when I'm driving around, it's really difficult to snatch that thing out of the holster. And you should have a holster, people. Get a holster. It's really hard to get your weapon out the holster, seatbelt on, driving down the street. This is, so I'm thinking, like, if I'm riding through bad neighborhoods or if I'm in good neighborhoods, I'm just kind of looking around like, all right, if someone comes, how am I going to do this? Right? Keeping in mind, the folks don't know I'm armed. So for me, the best move, if I'm by myself, I'll get out the car, man. You can have the car. If you come running up on the passenger side and you brandishing your weapon or whatever, and you like, get out the car, I'll hit my seatbelt and get out the car. You can have the car. But if you're trying to do something more than that, or you trying to fire at me or something like that, and I can't get to any kind of cover, then yeah, I'm gonna have to engage you. And it's not for the car. I'm just trying to stay alive. I want to get you away from me. So I pay insurance for a reason. You can have that car, bro. But it's really hard for me I'm not going to go reaching for a weapon and they already have the drop on me. Now they know I'm armed. Now they're going to want to take my weapon. So I don't, I'm going to get that seatbelt off, get out the car, and try to put some distance between me and those individuals. Normally when someone's trying to rob you, once you leave the car, they're focused on the car and how to do whatever it is they're trying to do. They take their focus off of you. So now you can get away. Right? You can draw your weapon, but you can also get away. And I will do that. I'll draw my weapon and I'll, find some cover. Right? Cover is I get behind something that's going to stop a bullet. And if they come at me because they want to come get my wallet or they're coming after me for whatever reason, I can engage them from a position, a superior position. I got cover. I can engage them. My weapon's out. I'm ready to go. So there's so many things you got to think about, guys. So many. And Brother Jack was like, that one kid shot 10 shots at a mall shooter and hit 40 yards plus. Yeah, he did. He sure did. He did. He fired 10 rounds, scored 8 hits. That is exceptional shooting. That is top tier shooting. You got a sidearm. You engage in someone who has a shoulder fire weapon and you score 8 out of 10 hits. Man. That is some really good shooting there. And that kid spent a lot of time with his weapon. That's extraordinary. That's not luck. 2 or 3 rounds would have been luck and would have still been good. 2-3 rounds out of 10 at that distance would have been good. It's like almost half a football field away, bro. And to be, he fired 10 rounds and scored 8 hits. It's amazing. We did a video on it. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that, man. Training is key. Know the law of the land. Definitely want to get yourself a weapon. Definitely want to prepare yourself for the bad times which may be coming. So you don't be walking around here surprised. Definitely want to keep your eyes up when you're walking around. Make eye contact. Make sure you keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you're checking behind you every now and then. Just kind of turn back and see what's back there. Because people are watching, bro. They're looking. It's a lot of people getting hit at ATMs, right? And I'm not talking about at the moment. I really mean the ATM machines. A lot of people getting hit at ATMs. There are a lot of people, getting hit when they come out of the banks. When they're going to the bank and they get a bunch of cash and they come out. There's people watching. So, be careful, guys. Be careful what bank you use. Be careful what time of day or night. Don't just run up to any old ATM thinking you're safe. Sometimes you're forced to do it. Like, I'm gonna have to go get this money, but do what you got to do to protect yourself. You're very vulnerable reaching out that window, pushing buttons. If someone come running up, bro, you got one hand out already. They come running up, man. They pretty much got you. So just think about what you're doing. Be very, very careful out there, guys. Be very, very careful. Think about what you're doing. Pay attention to your surroundings. Hey, understand that there are people out here who they're getting desperate and they gotta have this money. So it is what it is. That's all I got for this episode, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed that, man. But for real, man. This guy called the police and the police was like, I'm glad you're okay. Have a good night. And that was it. You know what I mean? That was it. I hope we were able to give you guys food for thought, because this is what it was like in the late 70s, man, and into the 80s. And that's when I became a teenager, like into the mid to late 80s. Man, the streets was vicious back then, bro. Vicious. You had to be careful, bro. I used to walk around with money in my shoe. I didn't have money in my, that's why I never carry a wallet in my back pocket. I see so many people just getting a wallet snatched out their back pockets, man. They like, somebody come up and like kind of bear hug, like two guys that come up and bear hug a dude. Third guy come up and just take the wallet out the back pocket and they all run away. You know what I mean? I never keep my wallet in my back pocket. My wallet is always in my front pocket. It is what it is. Start thinking about this stuff, y'all. I think about it so much because I came up in it. If you came out of a bubble where you didn't have to deal with this sort of thing, that's great. But you people got cars, man, and they know how to get to the good neighborhoods. Because they believe that's where the money is. So if you live in a good neighborhood, but it's not gated, you need to be careful. Even if it is gated, sometimes they can get in there. You never know how many people are in the car. They can get in there. They can get into a gated neighborhood, bro, and wreak havoc. So be careful. Do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Appreciate the love, brother Viking, brother Jack. Appreciate the love, bro. Last good man in Jersey just popped in. What's good, fam? How you feeling? Appreciate that, man. Drop the like. I appreciate it. Please share this one. If you want to share one, share this one. We talk about being safe and being smart out there and protecting yourself and watching your back and protecting your kids. If you talk to your wife about this sort of thing, talk to your sister, your brothers, your cousins, nieces, nephews, mom, dad, have this conversation. OPSEC, bro, operational security. Have these conversations. Be smart about things. Communication is key. My daughter understands this stuff. Why? Because we talk about it. That's why. She's a teenager. We talk about it. She sees what's going on around her. I've always talked to my daughter about stuff, and she's like, she keeps her head on a swivel. She knows what time it is. If she sees something that doesn't look right, she goes the other way. She knows what to do. You can't expect your child to know what you do if you haven't talked to them about it. You can't expect your spouse. You can't expect your significant other, your brothers, your siblings. You can't expect them to know what to do if y'all don't talk about it. You got to talk about it. Brother Viking is like, see, when both the cops and the OGs in LA are agreeing that the streets aren't safe anywhere, you need to take note. Facts. The OGs are like, bro, these people are out of their mind. And the fact is that a lot of the criminals who are in LA right now, especially LA, are coming to LA from other cities, other states, other countries. It's the OGs can't control them because they ain't from that soil. So the OGs are like, man, that's not us. It's been that from the very beginning. The OGs are like, man, that's not our people doing this. Like, we don't, I mean, it's It's not like the hood could put their foot down. The hood has put their foot down. They're like, man, our people ain't doing it. It's folks coming in from Nevada, from Arizona, from Ohio, from Pennsylvania, from Michigan, from Florida, from Ukraine, right? From Romania. There's people coming in from all over the place, from Vietnam. They're coming into to America, and they just taking advantage of a system that's on the decline. So that was a great point, Brother Viking. Absolute. That was an outstanding point, because that's exactly what's going on. It ain't the hood. Don't get it twisted. The hood's still doing what the hood is doing. But these stupid crimes, these brazen kind of things, it's not the hood. Them 3 dudes that jumped over the fence in Granada Hills at that guy's house in the video we watched, them ain't gangbangers. Them ain't gangbangers. Right? Real gangbangers would have went up in there. They'd have been ready. Now, that other video when the guy pulled his concealed weapon and was firing at the guys, they were probably gangbangers, because he busting back. So even though the assailant was trying to get away, he was still shooting that dude. Gangbangers. They know what time it is. So we need to think, y'all. We need to be thinking out there. We need to be thinking. It ain't safe. It ain't never been safe. It ain't never gonna be safe. But it is safer for those of us who are out here thinking and watching. The streets are watching you. You need to be watching the streets. All right. I'm gonna leave y'all with that, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Appreciate it. That was a fun episode. And Brother Viking, man, you see one point. The OGs in LA are agreeing with the cops, like, yo, it's bad out here. You gotta stay in the house. That's a fact. That is a fact. So thanks for rocking out with me. I'll be back tomorrow noon. I'm not sure. I'll probably do a live tomorrow, a quick one, or maybe I'll just do a short. I don't know, but I'm off this week, so we're definitely gonna do lives 2 days, 2 lives per day, at least for the rest of this week up until Thanksgiving, and then and then of course we'll keep it rolling into when my daughter gets back, she starts school or whatever. So I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I will say this: thanks for rocking out with me. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And again, I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Please share this one with somebody. Get that conversation going. Let folks know it ain't safe out there, and y'all need to keep your eyes open. All right. I'm DL Saint. This is the I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. I'll see y'all then. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.